Good evening, sir.
Good evening. What is your name?
Sir, my name is Noman Zaman Khan. I am from Azamgarh district of Uttar Pradesh. I have done my BSc in Geology from Aligarh Muslim University in the year 2021, and I have done my Masters from Aligarh Muslim University in the year 2023. I have done two field works, one in Nainital and one in Bharatpur Ajmer area of Rajasthan. And my dissertation work is in uh, genesis of manganese ore of Balaghat district, Madhya Pradesh.
Okay, nice. So, Noman Zaman,
Yes, sir.
what is the meaning of this Noman
So Noman means one who is blessed.
and Zaman?
Zama means the world, everything in the world.
So, you are blessed with everything.
Yes, sir.
And surely you are blessed, surely.
Thank you, sir.
Zaman, what was your topic of dissertation?
It was genesis of the manganese ore of the Balaghat district of Madhya Pradesh.
Okay, really good topic you got in your dissertation. Zaman, you just passed out, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is your first interview in UPSC.
Yes, sir. This is my
Have
first.
you appeared for the other examinations also?
No, sir. This is my first competitive exam that I have cracked, and
Okay,
this first interview.
okay, very good. So, Zaman, can you name some of the ore minerals of manganese?
Yes, sir. The primary manganese ore minerals are the oxides of like Serbixbite, Jacobsite, Bredenbergite, Hollandite, Hosomanite, and also Bronite. And there are also secondary ore minerals like silomelane, pyrolusite, and cryptomelane. And there is also a carbonate mineral which is known as rhodochrosite, which is also manganese carbonate mineral.
Okay, good. So, what was your the ore mineral in your dissertation topic? You major findings of ore minerals?
So basically, in the polish, I did the polished section of the samples, and basically the mostly that mineral occurred was the bronite, and also along with bronite, secondary generation minerals like silomelane and cryptomelane were also present along with bronite.
Okay. Have you heard about the term diaphanity?
Yes, sir, I have heard about diaphanity.
Can you define it?
Yes, sir, diaphanity is the ability of any material or mineral to transmit light. On the basis of diaphanity, we differentiate three types of minerals. One is opaque, translucent, and transparent. Transparent materials are those which completely transmit the light, and translucent are which partially transmit the light, and opaque are which absorb the light and do not transmit it.
Okay. So the ore minerals of manganese are opaque or translucent?
So the ore minerals of manganese are opaque.
Is there any example of manganese ore mineral which is transparent?
Uh, Sir, yes, sir. There manganese silicate mineral like spessartine, which is a garnet, belongs to the garnet group.
Mm-hmm.
It conducts the transmitted light.
So spessartine can be a prospect for manganese extraction.
Sir, spessartine basically doesn't yield too much manganese ore, but presence of spessartine can help us to determine that there could be other oxide minerals or minerals.
How come this spessartine help us to determine the presence of other oxide minerals or minerals of manganese?
Sir, basically, for example, in the gondite type of ore, in my area, gondite type of manganese ore are formed. In the
Mm-hmm.
gondite type of ore, it is a quartzose metamorphic rock in which
Mm-hmm.
the silicate minerals of manganese like spessartine and rhodonite occur in association with the brownite, bixbite, jacobsite, these oxide minerals.
Okay. So, what is the difference between these terminologies, gondite, condylite, and cordurite?
Yes, sir. So gondite is basically a metamorphic rock, which is silicate quartzose metamorphic rock, which basically consists of which is manganiferous, and it consists of rhodonite and spessartine, which are in association with other oxide minerals of manganese like braunite, bixbyite, and it is formed due to the protonic metamorphism of manganiferous sediments. Whereas chondrolite is also a metamorphic rock which belongs to the high grade metamorphic rock, and it consists of also manganese, but basically the distinct criteria is it also contains graphite along with sillimanite and potassium feldspar, and it shows some foliation also, chondrolite. Whereas cordierite is a group is a rock belonging to the chondrolite group of rocks, which is also manganiferous, rich in manganese, and it is formed due to the assimilation of manganiferous sediments in granitic magma.
Okay, good. So, do we get any alloy that is being used in day-to-day life very often, which is formed due to the mixing of manganese in a certain proportion to the iron?
Yes, sir. Manganese is very much used in the steel production. We use
Mhm.
manganese in the steel production, and addition of manganese in with iron to produce steel increases the durability and strength of the material.
So, do manganese mixing to the irons prevents the rusting?
Uh, yes, sir. At some limit, it prevents the rusting. It includes the strength also, and also abrasion quality is also increased.
Okay.
Hardness
So,
is
what are the major processes that are responsible for the manganese deposition?
Sir, manganese is basically deposited through sedimentary processes, in
Mm-hmm.
which manganese is basically present in many oxidation states, in which +2 is present in the reducing environment, which is soluble. As soon
Mm-hmm.
as the oxidizing environment is encountered, +2 manganese changes to +3 manganese, and then it is becomes insoluble and precipitates out of the solution. In this way,
Mm-hmm.
we form the bedded manganese deposits, and there are also the current days future prospect of the manganese, like the manganese nodules which are formed in the deep sea ocean.
Mm-hmm.
These are the basically sedimentary processes responsible for the manganese
So,
deposition.
manganese nodules can be source of manganese or any other metals.
Sir, manganese nodules can be source of other metals also, because in
Mm-hmm.
manganese nodules, along with manganese, nickel, cobalt, copper, iron is also present.
Okay, good. So, what is the age of this bedded deposition of manganese?
Sir, the better deposition of manganese basically started uh, in the early Proterozoic,
Mm-hmm.
Paleoproterozoic, and the reason for it to start in the Paleoproterozoic is the Great Oxidation Event.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at that time we were also getting deposition of iron.
Yes, sir. We also have enough iron at that time.
So the nature was favoring the precipitation of iron as compared to the manganese. So why this partiality to the manganese?
Sir, basically, manganese requires more oxidizing environment than iron. So iron can start to precipitate at slightly reducing condition also. But in order to precipitate manganese, we need much higher oxidated environment than required for iron. That is why we also get iron deposits of algoma type BIF in the Archean, but we do
Mm-hmm.
not get any manganese deposit in the Archean because of this reason.
Very good, Noman, very good. So now, Noman, apart from your dissertation topic, and you are coming from Azamgarh, and
Yes,
I
sir.
have visited Azamgarh for many times for the fields. Do we
Okay,
get
sir.
any mineral deposit in Azamgarh?
Sir, I was not able to hear.
Do we get any mineral deposit in Azamgarh?
Yes, sir. We mined sand from the banks of the Ghagra River that
Mm-hmm.
flows at the north margin of the Azamgarh district. There we
Mm-hmm.
get sand.
So, is there any hard rock terrain? What is the stratigraphy around Azamgarh?
Sir, there is no hard rock terrain in the Azamgarh. There is basically alluvium, and alluvium is also of two generation. One is the
Mm-hmm.
older alluvium,
Mm-hmm.
which is a middle Pleistocene to upper Pleistocene, and the
Mm-hmm.
newer alluvium, upper Pleistocene to recent.
Mm-hmm.
And the most recent alluvium is known as Khachar, that is found around the banks of the Ghagra River.
Okay. Khadra and Bhabar you are talking.
Yes.
Then what is Tarai region? Do we get any Tarai region in Azamgarh?
No, sir. Azamgarh does not have Tarai region. Tarai region is basically a region, a marshy region with the fine sediments that is found at the foothills of the Himalayas. After the Bhabar region, we get the Terai region. Streams reappear in the Terai region, and we have very good vegetation and fertility of soil in the Terai region.
So, Noman, there is a district called Jaunpur and Mirzapur,
Yes, sir.
which are not very far from Azamgarh,
Yes, sir.
but they are consisting of hard rock terrain,
Yes, sir.
right? Like Vindhyan sandstone specifically. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, how come this very low distance between these two districts marks the boundary between the lithologies? Very different type of lithologies we are getting. So, what could be the reason?
Sir, it is not like there is no hard rock terrain in Azamgarh. It is there, but it is concealed under the alluvium. And as in the Mirzapur and Jaunpur region, some parts of the basement rock has been exposed, maybe due to erosion or it was exposed. In the Azamgarh, we also get it was written in one report that we have the Semri group below the alluvium. It is
What is
possible.
the probable depth? What is the estimated depth of occurring of this Samri group of rocks?
So actually, the depth was not measured because in the bulletin of the GSI, a question mark was in front of the same ray group. It means that it has not been reported through any drilling process, but it is expected that it is there. A question mark was there.
Okay. So in that case,
Yes.
please tell me the stratigraphic succession of the Uttar Pradesh state in a very brief manner from bottom to top.
Sir, bottom to top, we in the south eastern region we have Sir Vindhyans exposed. We have Nices also. We have Vindhyans, and we have Mahakoshal belt rocks also. In the
Mm-hmm.
southwestern part, we have Bundelkhand granite. We have Bijavars, and we have
Mm-hmm.
Vindhyans also. And in the southeast eastern part, we have Gondwana also, the Barakar formations.
Mm-hmm.
We have some traces of Deccan basalt also, and moving towards north we generally have alluvium, older and younger alluviums, and
Mm-hmm.
in the Tarai region it is expected that this shivaliks are present at the bottom of the Terai and Bhabar region in the Uttar Pradesh.
Okay. In which districts does those Deccans are present?
Sir, sir, in the Lalitpur district of the Uttar Pradesh, the
Mm-hmm.
Deccans, there's slight presence of the Deccan basalt there.
Okay. So what are the mineral resources that UP have?
Sir, in the southwestern part, if we start with Sonbhadra, we have coal deposits of Singrauli, and we also have gold prospects of the Gurhar Pahad and Goladi region. We have also stream placer of gold deposits. We have potash in the Chitrakoot region. We have limestone of the Sonbhadra. We have Lalitpur phosphorites, and we have iron deposits in the Lalitpur and Jhansi districts, and also quartz deposits. Prayagraj is famous for silica sand, and we
Mm-hmm.
also have pyrophyllite and diaspore occurrence in the Lalitpur and Jhansi districts. We have very good quality of granites in the Mahoba district, and
Mm-hmm.
have sands all spread all across the river bank that is flowing through the UP. That is the Gangetic system.
Okay. Mahoba is also famous for something else.
Sir, Mahoba is also famous for dike intrusion.
Okay. Good. So, do we get any rare earth element prospects in UP?
Yes, sir. There is a prospect of rare earth element in the Sonbhat district. Actually, it is estimated. Sir, I am not able to remember the name of the river. It is
Mm-hmm.
something like Mahan and Kan. It is the tributary of the Son, and
Mm-hmm.
in that GSI has reported the placer deposits of RE.
Okay. And what is the source of this REE?
Sir, I cannot remember that.
So, is there any pegmatite that is hosting those rare earth element deposits?
Sir, a pegmatite body. Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of this.
Okay. Are you aware of the pegmatites now?
Yes, sir, I know pegmatites.
How do we define them?
Sir, pegmatites are basically a rock that are formed at higher temperature, and they are partly igneous and partly metamorphic. They are formed at higher temperature of metamorphism when anastasis, the limit of metamorphism is reached and anastasis occurs. So we have swirly bands. We have swirly bands and we have paleosomes and neosomes. Neosomes represent the part that has been melted, partially melted, and the paleosomes represent the intact part that has not undergone partial melting.
Okay. So, do you agree with the statement that the leucosome and melanosomes were the result of the preferred nucleation during the recrystallization of the metamorphism system?
Sir, paleosomes and neosomes, basically the neosomes formed due to the partial melting. When
No, no.
the
I am talking about the alternate bands of the light and dark color
Yes, sir,
in
yes, sir,
that we found.
yes, sir, that is formed due to metamorphic differentiation. Gneisses are also good example of these alternate bendings.
Okay, good. So, what is the difference between the anastasis and palingenesis then?
Sir, anastasis is basically when the melting of the crustal material, when the crustal material is melted. And as for sir palingenesis, sir, I'm not able to recall the exact definition of palingenesis right now.
Okay. So, can you tell me the difference between metamorphic phases, metamorphic zone, and metamorphic grade?
Yes, sir. Sir, metamorphic zone is basically defined on the basis of index mineral, a particular mineral, which is also known as Barrovian mineral. But and they are also known as Barrovian zones. But metamorphic species is defined on the basis of a particular mineral assemblage, not a single mineral, but a mineral assemblage that formed under a particular temperature and pressure condition. Metamorphic grade is the intensity of metamorphism that is increasing with time and also spatially and temporally with increasing temperature and pressure condition.
Okay. So, have you heard about the compatibility diagrams?
Compatibility.
Compatibility diagrams in metamorphism, metamorphic rocks or metamorphic petrology?
Sir, I am not able to recall that.
Okay. Have you heard about the chemographic diagrams?
No, sir, I have not heard about
Chemographic
these terms.
diagrams like ACF, AKF, AFM.
Yes, sir. ACF, AFM. Yes, sir, I have heard that.
Okay. So now you have recalled the facts. What are the compatibility diagrams and what is the utility of these diagrams?
Sir, basically these diagrams are used in order to find what could be the protolith of the metamorphic rock. For example, the ACF diagram uh, we use the alkaline end and the carbonaceous calcareous end and the iron end on the basis of this.
No, these are the basic chemographic diagrams, right?
Yes,
So if we want to indicate the mineral assemblages of the particular protoliths or the particular metamorphic rock, then it is being used, right?
yes.
So when these are chemographic diagrams are integrated with the pressure and temperature, then these diagrams become compatibility diagrams.
Okay, sir.
So these chemographic diagrams do not help us to determine the grade of metamorphism, right? So whenever
Okay,
we integrate them with the pressure and temperature, then they become the compatibility diagram. So that can be utilized for the grade of metamorphism, right? So
okay,
the
sir.
utility of this compatibility diagram is that they can tell you about the grade of metamorphism. Okay.
Okay, sir.
In a similar way, we are also using some sort of theoretical models in igneous petrology, specifically named Gibbs phase rule. Have you heard
Yes,
of about Gibbs phase rule?
yes, sir.
What is the significance or utility of this Gibbs phase rule?
Sir, the phase rule is basically be used to determine the condition of the pressure and temperature in under which the minerals are at equilibrium. A system is at equilibrium. The formula.
This schedule is always constructed for the system which are at equilibrium.
Yes.
And if there is equilibrium and the models which is we are constructing, it is the laboratorical atmospheric pressure. We are doing it in laboratory labs,
Yes,
and
sir.
it the where the pressure is constant 1 atm, so it is already isobaric.
Yes, sir.
And the sample which we are analyzing, it is already at the known temperature. So we cannot use a model for the variables which are already known to us, right? So I am
Yes.
asking about the utility of the phase diagram. Why do we need them?
Sir, we used to basically determine the behavior of the minerals during partial melting, and when they are subjected to different temperature and pressure condition, how they behave, how they mix, how they form, how they crystallize.
Okay, good. So basically, if we need to understand the crystallization behavior of the magma, then the
Yes,
phase diagram comes into the picture. Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay. So, Zaman, can you tell me about the differences between the fault and joints?
Yes, sir. Faults are fracture zones along which some displacement has occurred, but
Mm-hmm.
joints are fracture zone or deformation discontinuity along which no displacement has been reported at macro level.
Mm-hmm.
Joints basically cause earthquakes. Sorry, faults basically cause earthquakes, but the joints cause landslides and other things.
Okay, so there is a specific type of texture associated with the earthquake activity that we often observe in metamorphic petrology. Can you name it?
Sir, it is pseudotachylite.
Good, good.
Yes, it is
So,
a.
what is the difference between George and Canyon? Have you heard of these two terminologies, George and Canyon?
Yes, sir. These are related to valley. On the basis of the width of the valley, we define it as a gorge or as canyon. Sir, I'm not able to basically recall the exact number, the ratio that of width and height that we use, but it is basically on the basis of the ratio of the width and height.
Okay. So, there is a terminology in sedimentary petrology that is provenance,
Yes, sir.
right? So, the meaning of provenance is to knowing the origin or source area of the sediments.
Yes, sir.
So, for example, we are already having the sedimentary rock in front of us and we are observing it. And whatever the textural, mineralogical, chemical aspects that could be observed, we are observing directly from the rock itself.
Yes,
Then
sir.
why do we need to construct this model to indicate which are indicating their source area? Why do we need this source area if we are already getting the final product in our hands?
Sir, the source area, the source of the sediment can be used in the paleogeographic reconstruction. That
Mm-hmm.
what could be the source of these sediments, and also
Mm-hmm.
the basically on the basis of minerals assemblage, we can determine the what could be the parent source, and on the basis of that we can determine whether it was acidic rock or igneous rock. That can also be used in mineral exploration. For example, uh, basically felsic rocks are very good host of minerals, so if
Mm-hmm.
we are able to determine the provenance as felsic, then we can trace back to it.
No, why do need to construct this provenance? My question is this. We can already identify the different terrains. Like, can't we determine this? This is the metamorphic terrain, and in this metamorphic terrain, such kind of metamorphic rocks we are getting. And this is igneous terrain, and this particular type of igneous rocks are found in this terrain. And this is the sedimentary terrain, and such sedimentary rocks are found in this terrain. Then why do we need to construct this? We are already getting those terrains in our field.
So basically, in order to study how the different processes of evolution of the Earth surface occur, how the Earth surface changes through time, we can. That is why we do the provenance study.
Uh, do you believe that this construction of provenance can help us to identify the primary ore bodies in mineral exploration?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is
Can
the
can
first
you
part.
correlate it with the dispersion?
Dispersion, sir, as for geochemical dispersion or mechanical dispersion?
Both of them.
Okay, sir, geochemical dispersion is basically a dispersion of the mineral that is formed when the ore body is concentrated. We see that from a central point, the concentration of the mineral elements get decreases as we move away from the central point. This is known as primary dispersion. Secondary dispersion is basically on the basis of the secondary processes like weathering and erosion that has acted on the ore body, and they have remobilized the ore material to a different place. This is known as secondary dispersion.
Okay. So, are you aware of a satellite that is being used for the groundwater monitoring?
No, sir, I am not aware.
Okay. Okay. Have you heard about the large ion lithophile elements and high field strength element,
Yes, sir, I have heard about
which
them.
are defined on the basis of ionic potential, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's have a situation. We are getting a source rock which is subjected to the partial melting to a some extent, whether it is equilibrium melting or the Rayleigh melting, right? It is none
Yes,
of
sir.
our concern at the moment. A source rock is being subjected to the partial melting, and that generated a solid residue, that is restite, and a melt.
Yes, sir.
Now the restite is having high field strength elements or heavy rare earth elements more
Yes,
than
sir.
normal distribution. So what could be your possible interpretation for the mineralogical assemblages of the solid residue?
Sir, if the HREs and HFSC are in the restite, then it can be interpreted that it is rich in garnet, because garnet has partition coefficient of RE for garnet is more than 1. That is, the RE heavy rare earth elements are compatible in garnet, so they will remain in the restite with the garnet.
Very good, Noman. There is a mineral called monazite,
Yes, sir.
which is containing a variety of rare earth element in their structure.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think so that the monazite is so much compatible for the rare earth elements?
Sir, so I have no idea regarding this.
Where do we get this monazite across our country?
Sir, basically we go get this in the coastal regions, basically in the east coast, for example, the coast of Orissa and Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, so
We,
these are the sediments that we are getting along the beach sands.
yes, sir.
So what is the provenance of this monazite?
Sir, the provenance of the monazite could be any. Sir, monazite basically occurs in the felsic rocks, so the provenance could be any acidic rock.
So it is a metamorphic mineral or specifically igneous mineral, or it can be generated by both of the processes.
Sir, monazite is formed in the metamorphic terrain also. It is found. Sir, basically it is igneous mineral, but it can so that is why it is also found in metamorphic
So in
terrains.
eastern coast or in eastern ghats, so in eastern ghats, do we get any felsic rocks?
Sir, the charnokites we have there. Charnokites are basically, they have variety of range of composition from intermediate to felsic.
Okay.
So yes, sir.
Okay, Zaman. What is the difference between Arcos and Grevake?
Sir, these both terminologies are used for sandstone of different types. Arkose is a sandstone that contains at least 25 or at least or more than 25% of feldspar condition. Whereas Grevake is a sandstone which contains more than 15% of matrix. Arkoses are associated with drift basins, whereas the Grevakes are associated with the turbidites.
Turbidites or trench sediments?
Sir, we can also call that trench sediments because turbidites are also found in the trench.
Okay. So let's have a hypothetical situation in which you need to inspect two blocks on the basis
Yes, sir.
of physical properties, right?
Yes,
One
sir.
block, there are two identical blocks with the same color index. So you cannot differentiate among the blocks on the basis of color, right? So
Yes,
they
sir.
are of the same color index, having equal dimensions, equal shape and size. One block is of limestone and other one is of basalt.
Yes,
So
sir.
how would you differentiate that this is basalt and this is limestone on the basis of physical properties?
Sir, on the basis of physical property, first of all, sir, the limestone, sir, the basalt will show darker colors.
No, I am saying they are of the same color index. You cannot
Okay.
differentiate among them between these two on the basis of color.
Okay, sir. Sir, basalt will basically show the grains will be fine because it has crystallized and it will not show particular bending nature. It will be
Mhm.
of wave type.
Yes, first, Noman, please listen the question very carefully. I have given three assumptions. First,
Yes,
they are showing same color index.
yes,
Second,
sir.
they are equidimensional and they
Yes,
are
sir.
identical in every aspect and they are polished. So you cannot judge the grain size, the vesicles, the amygdales, nothing. They are the identical cubical blocks with the same color
Yes,
index, same size, same external appearance.
sir. Sir, in that case, I'm sorry, I'm not able to.
Are you aware of the term that is heft?
Heft?
Uh-huh.
No, sir, I'm not.
Whenever you took those sample in your hands, one will be heavier
Yes, sir.
and other one will be lighter.
Yes, sir.
Now, can you reach to any conclusion with specific properties in physical property?
Yes, sir. The heavier mineral will be basalt and the lighter will be limestone.
So, what is that property?
Sir, that is a specific gravity.
Specific gravity. Okay. So, on the
Yes,
basis of specific gravity, we can easily identify which one is the
yes,
basalt, this one is the limestone. Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay, Noman, I am summing up your interview. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, sir.
let's work for the feedback. Sorry, I was only the panelist available today. Most of the panelists are assigned the election duties, so they were not able to join us. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so I hope I did the justice with your mock interview. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so how was it? What was your experience?
Sir, my experience was overall good, and after this mock interview, I am able to like earlier I was thinking that the field areas were I was not studying very much. So now it is clear that the field areas should be focused on very much. And also I was studying something very deep. Some I was studying very deep knowledge. So after this interview, I come to conclusion that we do not have to study very deep, but have good knowledge of everything.
Yes. So for a geologist now, Noman, GSI will conduct a training session for at least 1 year. So, what is the requirement of GSI? They will teach you.
Yes, sir.
They are looking for the learning aptitude, right? So, do you have that or not? Okay. So, for example, in the last question, we are talking about the specific gravity. Now,
Yes,
I
sir.
want you to identify the different blocks on the basis of physical properties. So, one should be your specific gravity, right? So, now you are bound not to go with the color, texture, right, bands, etc. So what would your approach? So now you know that specific gravity is the point on which you can rely.
Yes,
So
sir.
now you have learned it. So whenever the similar situation came, you know what to answer, right?
Yes, sir.
So this type of learning aptitude is just basically in interviews. So you are not required to have very deep knowledge of anything because there is always something that is deeper than your depth,
Yes, sir.
right? So because we are all learning, है ना? ये तो क्लियर है कि भाई तुम भी कुछ सीख रहे हो, हम भी कुछ सीख रहे हैं, है ना? बस ये है कि हमें कुछ थोड़ा सा ज्यादा आता होगा क्योंकि हम इस फील्ड में ज्यादा टाइम से, है ना? हो
Yes,
सकता
sir.
है 5 साल बाद में आप हमसे कुछ चीजों में बहुत आगे हो, है ना, क्योंकि आपने ट्रेनिंग ले लिया है, आप एक्सप्लोरेशन वर्क में असाइंड हो, है ना। सो वहाँ इंटरव्यू में आपकी तीन चीजें टेस्ट होंगी, है ना, क्योंकि मैंने खुद यूपीएससी के बहुत सारे इंटरव्यू दिए हैं, सो आई कैन टेल यू दैट। पहला तो ये है कि वहाँ पे आपका डिग्री ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस ही चेक होता है, क्योंकि नॉलेज तो चेक हो चुका
यस
है
सर।
ना। दूसरा है आपका आर्टिकुलेशन, कि आप क्वेश्चंस को कितना अच्छे से सुन रहे हैं, समझ रहे हैं, और कितना अच्छे से उसके लिए आंसर आर्टिकुलेट कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। और तीसरा है कि भाई आप ब्लफ तो नहीं कर रहे, सामने वाले को बेवकूफ तो नहीं समझ रहे कि कुछ भी आंसर दे रहे हो कि मेरे हिसाब से ये होगा। क्योंकि ये मान के चलो कि मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस में जो आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछे जा रहे हैं और जो पूछ रहा है वो उसके बारे में आंसर जानता है। बहुत रेयरली ऐसा होगा कि कोई क्वेश्चन आउट ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी पूछा जा सकता है जिसका आंसर मुझे भी नहीं पता।
यस सर।
बहुत रेयर सिचुएशंस ऐसी होंगी, है ना। बट मुझे लगता है कि आप तीनों ही कसौटियों पे बहुत खरा उतरे हैं। आर्टिकुलेशन बहुत अच्छा है, कॉन्फिडेंस भी बहुत अच्छा है, और आप ब्लफ भी नहीं कर रहे हैं। जहाँ पे नहीं आता वहां पे आप बहुत ही हम्बल होकर के मना कर दे रहे हैं कि नहीं आता, ठीक है। सो आई थिंक यू आर ए वेरी वर्दी कैंडिडेट, है ना। आपकी पर्सनैलिटी बहुत अच्छी है, आप बहुत सॉफ्ट स्पोकन है, बहुत हम्बल है ना। कॉन्फिडेंस में कोई कमी नहीं है, एरोगेंसी बिल्कुल नहीं है ना, और एक्सेप्टेंस है कि जो चीजें नहीं आती हैं वो नहीं आती हैं, और आप कुछ जगह स्ट्रगल करते हो, और विच इज एक्सपेक्टेड कि आप जस्ट अभी एमएससी करके आए हो, है ना। मैं एकेडमिक्स में थोड़ा इसलिए डीप में घुसा क्योंकि आपने जस्ट अभी ही एमएससी किया है, एंड यू आर
यस
कमिंग फ्रॉम एएमयू, है ना, जिसके
यस सर।
जिसका एक अपना प्रेस्टीज है ना, जिसका अपनी एक सिग्निफिकेंट हिस्ट्री है फॉर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग नॉलेज, है ना। तो इट इज एक्सपेक्टेड कि आपके आंसर्स में क्रेडिबिलिटी होगी, जो है ना, है भी।
यस सर।
और मेरे ख्याल से आप बहुत ही वर्दी कैंडिडेट हैं, और देर इज नो पॉइंट कि अगर आपका मेंस और प्रीलिम्स ठीक हुआ है तो देर इज नो पॉइंट कि वो इंटरव्यू में आपको 120 से कम देंगे, है ना। बहुत अच्छा इंटरव्यू आपका होगा, इससे भी अच्छा होगा, आई एम वेरी श्योर, है ना। बस
थैंक यू सर।
जिन जिन पॉइंट्स पे मैंने आपको थोड़ा सा हाईलाइट किया है वो थोड़ा सा देख लो, है ना, कि थोड़ा बेसिक्स को और कवर करो, क्योंकि अदर पैनलिस्ट नहीं थे इसलिए। जैसे स्ट्रक्चरल जियोलॉजी बहुत अच्छे से आपका टेस्ट नहीं हुआ, है ना, स्ट्रेटिग्राफ अच्छे से टेस्ट नहीं हुआ, है ना। और इकोनॉमिक जियोलॉजी में अपन बहुत ज्यादा घुसे नहीं, बट जितना गए वो अच्छा था, है ना। आपका नॉलेज ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। तो आई हैव कवर्ड ए वाइडर स्पेक्ट्रम, और जिसके बेसिस पे मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आप बहुत वर्दी कैंडिडेट है ना। सो आई विश यू ए वेरी ऑल द बेस्ट, and as your name suggests that you are already blessed with everything, and you will be blessed with the post of geologist for sure,
थैंक यू
inshallah.
सर।
Chalo, all the best.
चलिए।
Okay.
थैंक यू सर।
Okay, all the best. All the best.